Aries singles, thank you. It's Tarot My Love with your four pillar singles read. It's going to be for the third week of May. This is for super singles, seriously singles, totally singles. I say because we're looking for your soulmate here, not your next ex problem, next ex wife, next ex husband, but the one who's right for you. Like, who'll be right for them. We're asking Spirit for that. We've already shuffled. Um, we're going to look at the four pillars, I call it, of a relationship: the emotional, intellectual, love and sexual, and lifestyle slash core value areas here. We'll do a six card pull for this. Sometimes I do six, sometimes I do nine. It really depends on how much table I have. I hate to say it, but either way it works. I swear to God, I could throw one card. We really tried. Well, we're going to try to get a beat on this person. It's like they've been circling around the airport for who knows how long because you've been busy doing other things, other people. And now we're opening up a runway for them and bringing them down. And I want to try to meet them and describe them a little bit, see what they're like at a deeper level. Okay, so emotionally, I have the page of wands. Oh, now we got a nice breeze. Just like to say thank you, Guy and Mother, for the nice breeze and the use of your beautiful outdoor studio extraordinaire. And the Hermit, this is in their emotional column. Intellectually, we got the Four Swords. And we got the Hanging Man. All right, let me just take a look here for a moment. And then we're going to look at their love and relationship here. We'll try to get some astrology hits too. Astrologer says sometimes I get an idea on sometimes the sun. Usually it's Venus and Mars I get, usually. Um, and then over here we'll look at their core values and lifestyle. Um, but the Page of Wands and the Hermit emotionally. So I don't know how you would say it. They're a little split. Remember, this is your person. We're not looking for problems here. Um, but they could have like a Virgo Moon with the Hermit here, and this is kind of your unconscious, conscious here positions. So I really look for the Moon here, particularly um, in this reading. But it implies someone who is an introvert, big time, but they have an extroverted side. Like, I'm an INFP, but on the introverted scale, I'm not very far. I'm not a very strong introvert. But I've learned over my life just how much I value and need that time alone. As I always think of myself as this very outgoing person. I'm really not. So they're a bit like that. They need the time alone. They're have a peacefulness about them. There's a youthfulness about them too. I don't really get age here at all, so I don't know. It could be a younger person. Younger adult person, right? Um, I'm gonna think of what they might say to you. They come from a pretty peaceful place, and I think with the Hermit here, they got to be someone, and it's going to be in their natal charts, that over time, no matter what age they are, but probably by the time they were teenagers and young adults, they would be really working hard on themselves. The Hermit is someone that knows themselves thoroughly. Above all else, know thyself, and this is the Hermit. So there's someone that they don't project their stuff on people. With the page now, here's where the page comes in. They're not going to allow you to project it on them. There's someone that can speak up for themselves. It just hit me um, in a way that most people would find a bit unusual because they're very calm and they're very disarming personality. Like almost people might like kind of to be around them because, like, this is the kind of person you could be around them and on both on your phones or just sitting there or something, and they're not talking, but you feel comfortable and kind of good about that. Like you're really comfortable just being quiet around them, you know? Like you don't feel like you have to talk. So when they speak up, it's kind of like Sagittarius. When they finally do speak up, it can be a little shocking and abrupt to for someone to realize that this person has a voice, that this person can make a fist, that this person could say like, "How dare you talk to me like that? Who the fuck do you think I am?" Because they can, um, and I think they will. Um, but you can rest assured too, if they tell you something, it's like they're not projecting their stuff on you. So, and I think too, this would be a person if they talk about relationships, because I try to think too what they might say. They'll talk about them in a very balanced way, meaning like they probably won't talk about relationships. You should always look for this, I think, when you're getting to know someone. As every relationship, it's always the other person, the other person. It's never their stuff, never. No, I think they'd have a pretty good handle. They might say, like, and you want to hear things like this. I think, in my first marriage that failed, I learned that I blah blah blah, and I was immature, and I learned, and I think I'm a better person, and thank them for that lesson. And so, they're not in any way delusional or anything like that. And so they likely have had a pretty good time in relationships. Like they're probably not going to tell you Jerry Springer like disaster stories and stuff because they don't strike me someone that would get involved like that. Now, this is a very interesting combination because then intellectually down at the bottom you have the hanging man next to the hermit. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This person's introverted. So, and thoughtful. Holy shit. So, another thing too that comes to mind, someone like this, when they say something, and they say, I love you, um, if they say, I need to talk to you about something, and it's something that you have a problem, you might want to listen, okay? Because they've probably given it a lot of thought, and they're not going to put their shit on you. They could be wrong. Anyone could be wrong. I don't see here with the four swords that they're, particularly genius IQ or anything. It's like the mushrooms once told me. It's like, Jesus Christ, David, most of you humans have more than enough intelligence to do everything you need to do. Just stop worrying about how smart you are and fucking do what you need to do. They gave me tough love sometimes. Um, so, with the Four of Swords and the intellect, yeah, I don't see them speaking up very much. I mean, they might be very introverted. They might really be a listener. It's just like if somebody pushes their buttons, they will speak up. And I think it would just be kind of shocking because even maybe the way they look, um, they could be, just look so unassuming and disarming and approachable. And then to see them get outraged, and I don't see it in any bad way. They probably do it when they need to. Um, I don't see any bad childhood here. Kind of neutral. It's a neutral childhood. They won't tell you horror stories like that. Um, they may suffer a little bit from self-criticism. This Virgo Moon. Um, a lot of times it's on them, and then with a Virgo Moon, you'd think your feelings. So they'd definitely be someone that thinks their feelings. So a lot of what they might be doing as you're sitting and talking to them, being that they're so unconscious, and they could probably manifest like a motherfucker if they were into it, come to think of it, but they may be like really going over things in their own mind. As you're talking, I mean, you wouldn't understand this because it wouldn't make any logical sense, but they may take from what you're saying in some way like um, Virgo moons. It's like they're so triggery, it could be like, or they could be thinking, are they putting me down? Are they, you're just talking about whatever, and they might be thinking, are they, is this about me? Or it just makes them think of something about them. And then they're kind of lost in that a little bit. So as you're talking, they may disappear a little. It could be that kind of introverted. Like my girlfriend says, Mexicans here call it they're giving you the plane, and they're just not really paying attention. because they're probably lost in their thoughts, like in some kind of critical way, or a discerning way. You know, Virgo, the discernment. Um, and I think they just literally will hang back and not want to give their opinions. They might not like criticism. I think that's part of it too. That's what'll trigger them a little bit, like criticism. So they don't like the criticism, you know. And it might be a little bit of irony because they're probably their own biggest critic, you know. They probably criticize themselves. That's what's going on. As you're talking to them, really, in some way, they're like using it to sort of criticize themselves, Aries, right? And sexually, we're going to have the Knight of Wands. A little bit of a different reading, Six of Swords, but it's not so different. That a Knight of Wands in terms of sex is not good. That's good. That's good. That's Mars energy. Knights are Mars. Um, I want to tend to read that as their Mars energy is being fire. Page of Swords, lifestyle core values. Uh, Five of Pentacles. Hmm. Start with the sex. Why not? And we were dealing with a Virgo Moon. I'm really feeling that strong. So we would have a Leo Mars, very most likely. A Leo Mars. And that really works with the Knight of Wands. Okay. Now, we'll look at the Six of Swords for the Venus, or the combination. Um, but my opinion, Leo Mars are hot. I mean, just hot. Um, Passion. So they really like the passion. Um, it could be kind of dominant. You know, you got a lot of page energy here too. Um, and you know, so much of the emotions gets moved into the sex. Um, they could kind of want to dominate. Again, this is not a toxic thing, because I think sex is a great place to work out a lot of crap. Because you know, if you're adults and you kind of do it consciously, and it's like, you know, things that could be grueling otherwise could just become fun. But they may be like this kind of person, like again, this unassuming person who, when they speak up for themselves, people are surprised. So imagine, you know, maybe when the door closes and you are alone, um, they're quiet. If especially a Leo Mars is a classic like this. I mean, they are an animal in the sack. I don't know how to say it than that. And But the Six of Swords for Venus energy, Leo and Libra would come to mind. Very most likely would be a Libra Venus. And I tell you, Venus is not unhappy in Leo. Not a bad place for Venus to have any dignity or anything, but um, no, I mean for Mars is not happy in Leo. It's the sun. It's a good place for it. And Libra Venus is at home, so very good, in spite of the implication of moving away. But it is an air sign, so in terms of love, their emphasis would be on balance. They want things to be fair, and this is a person like most people. If the relationship's a little slanted, it's never like 50-50. Say the relationship's kind of slanted, and it's slanted your way, in the way of this person. Let's say you're a Virgo Moon, Libra Venus person. Most people would like it. Like if they have a little more power in the relationship, a little more control. Maybe if they love, if the other person loves them a little more than they love them. Venus and Scorpio secretly. That's our greatest wish. Is it's hard to find that. It's someone that loves us more than we love them. Um, but the Libra doesn't. That would bug them. You know, they could actually break up with someone over that. Like if they feel they're not good enough, if they feel they're not meeting your needs, most people are only going to be focused on, are you meeting their needs? And that's why they would break up with you. They might actually break up with you because they're not meeting your needs, in terms of their love energy. And it's a kind of detachment too. So they could be a little flirty, but they could be a little bit detached too in their love style. So it's with the Libra Venus, it's delicate because they love love and they love relationships and they're willing to compromise and things like that. But there's emotionally a level that's hard to get to them. They're not going to give all of themselves up, that's for sure, which is probably a good thing. So you have like this air and fire energy in terms of their love and sex coming at you. And of course, that depends a lot on your positions. Yeah, you're Earth, Sun, but we don't know your Venus and Mars here. But if you had it, particularly if you had an Aries Venus, and you had like maybe an Aquarius Mars, could be perfect. Um, and then for their lifestyle and core values, a lot of times I've said in these readings, I see someone that has substance. They don't have a lot. I don't think they have a lot physically. I think they have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of resources, a lot of savings. Um, they may be used to, with the Page of Swords energy here, to kind of pulling themselves up by their bootstraps, taking care of themselves. I don't see them having a lot of connections either to family, to locations, even maybe to even work. They could actually be unemployed. This doesn't exactly speak to now. That's just my feeling of it. It speaks to a sense where they've probably known a lot of hardship and poverty. This is not really in the past, like from childhood or anything. Um, they frankly may have made bad decisions here with this Page of Swords. Impulsive decisions, immature decisions, and you may meet them at a point which could maybe constitute some kind of low point in their life. You know, they'll definitely talk about that. But the Page of Swords, they would have an ability to use their words. So something in terms of communication, in a sincere expression. They may have lost jobs in the past because they said something that they shouldn't have said. Said something at a meeting that maybe everyone knew was right, but everyone had sense enough not to say, except for them, because they kind of have that energy and want to speak their minds. Kind of goes with that Page of Swords when they get pushed or something really gets triggered, and because it can be kind of like they don't really quite know how to handle assertiveness, so to over assert when they do it, because they don't really understand what they're doing. They just know they got to do it. And so they could still be in some process, probably a younger person here, 20 something person here. And they're in the process of learning how to deal with themselves, just make a life for themselves too. And they don't want to compromise, with the Page of Swords. They want what they want and when they want it. And, they're going to have to figure out how to get it because the way it comes across from others, they end up being left out in the cold. But it's like with the Page of Swords, it's like they put themselves out in the cold because they refuse to compromise on whatever it is, which can be a good thing. It's like, okay, someone offers you a job doing something that you consider, I don't know, is working in a factory making nanotechnology do you think is bad and causes lung disease. And they offer you a job paying a lot of money and it's you really need it, and you may be living on the street, but you say, you know what, fuck you, I'm not going to do something because I need food and a place to live, that hurts other people, I'm not going to do it. And its most positive level could be like that. The Page of Swords, just really, really stubborn, and could serve them and not serve them. It depends. But that's the way they're going to be, guys. So, um, Aries, let me know if you relate to this. Maybe the way I see this reading is someone you wouldn't have got to them yet. So it'll be someone brand new. A lot of people approach it to say, "Oh, it really describes this person." It's just it's meant to be the person that's right for you, and it's usually not someone we've been with, because if we're with them and they're right for us, it would already be right. That's my biggest feeling. It's like when it's right, it's right. That's the biggest thing. It's like when we get all this kind of this and that, and I'm married, and I'm this, and wait, and hold on, and I need some time, and third party this, and person, and jobs in the way, and that's just spirit trying to tell us, it's like, move on. This is not the right one. So, thank you guys.